Hi everyone, welcome to the video. And today we have Haimantika with us, and we are going to discuss about DevRel, which is the favorite topic that I have to discuss. And there are a lot of questions to ask you, Haimantika, about the DevRel, what it is, how to get opportunity as DevRel, what are the content creation part and community management and all the stuff. So yeah, you can start with the introduction about yourself.
Definitely. Thanks a lot for the invite. I am very excited to be here and talk about DevRel and answer all the questions that you have and maybe all the other questions that your viewers might have. So, to give a bit of introduction, hi, I'm Haimantika Mitra and I'm a developer advocate or DevRel at Appwrite. And I, I, s- I stay in a city called Siliguri, India. Like it's in the eastern part of India, but it's in West Bengal, and which means that I'm working remotely. Like our entire company is remote, and I'm working remotely for close to 2 years at Appwrite. And before Appwrite, I used to work at Microsoft in the Outlook and Exchange team. So that's how my career initially started. But before that, the entire concept of how tech runs, what communities are, and everything, I was introduced to by a community called Microsoft Learn Student Ambassador. Back then, it used to be known as Microsoft Student Partner. And that is where I got most of the people who I have as friends now. I got to learn a ton of other things, and indirectly or directly, I am indebted to that platform or to that program. Because of that, I got to learn, got to upskill in not only technical skills but in non-technical or interpersonal skills as well. So the reason why I'm mentioning this part of the story is because the first time I got introduced to the term DevRel or developer advocate is from this program, and the time when I realized where my passion lies is also from this program. So yeah, that's all about me, and I am very excited to be here and speak more about my journey, my day-to-day life in my job as a DevRel, and also any other questions that you might have.
Yeah, it's pleasure to have on channel. And you're a part of Microsoft Student Ambassador. That first thing that new to me because I don't know. And I'm not a part of Microsoft Ambassador program, but a lot of people just like Khushbu,
Yeah.
Aditya, you people are part of, and they did some amazing. So that program is really interesting, I think, because where you got to know about the community management, event hosting, bit of content creation, that stuff that's helps you
Yeah.
in terms of DevRel journey, right?
Definitely. And other than that, it also gives you a lot of benefits. For example, credits to use Azure and other platforms. So, and they also give you vouchers for certification. So you also end up learning a lot of technical skills that is required in the job market. So, yeah, definitely a program that I would
And
ask you to join if you're a student.
also they give you the lifetime domain, yourname.com or something.
Not .com. There used to be some benefits, but I think it was .in or .tech if I remember correctly, but I cannot remember. It was almost 4 years back. But other than that, they used to also give LinkedIn Premium, then Camtasia vouchers for free. So if you were something or somebody who is excited about video recording, so you could just do that. I used to make a lot of fun YouTube videos just by recording my screen because I had Camtasia for free. So yeah, definitely it had a lot of perks.
Yeah. Yeah. So the first thing that I want to know, just start from very beginning, how you get your first tech role, like you are part of Microsoft team. So how you get that opportunity and when you completed your college, tell us about.
Okay, sure, sure. So my first tech job was actually an internship, and I got it like it was a Power Platform developer, like Power BI, Power Platform, Power Apps, the entire Power Platform stack. And this is one tech stack that I picked up by being in the student partner program that I was just mentioning of Microsoft. And I used to post a lot about it on social media and write about it. And I just mentioned that I used to record my screen and post a lot of videos. So that's how people, I didn't have a lot of followers, but that's how people got to know that, okay, there is somebody who is in college and is learning about Power Platform and sharing her knowledge. and there was this job posting in a US based startup, and it was posted like the person who posted it, the hiring manager, was somebody who was in my mutual connect and was also a Power Platform developer. So I randomly called, DM'd him and said that I saw this opportunity. I know you're looking for experienced professionals, but I do have the expertise in this field, and you don't need to give me a full-time person salary or somebody who is experienced. You can hire me as an intern, and I can ensure you that I already have the knowledge, which I will obviously increase while on the job, and maybe give me a try. And that worked out well. Then soon after, I had around 3 rounds of interview, and I that's how I got my first full-time, not full-time, but internship tech job. And I graduated in 2021, and the my job at Microsoft was something that I got through a hackathon. It used to be called Fixathon back then. I'm not sure if that is still running, but yes, it was a hackathon. And then what I heard from my HR, there were around 11,000 people who had applied to it, but at the end, around 20 or 25 people got an internship offer. Like, it was a full-fledged hackathon. You were grouped into different teams with strangers, and you had to build a solution and do other stuffs. And then you had kind of whiteboarding rounds, and a lot of rounds. It went on, like the entire process went on for 2 to 3 months. And then finally I got the internship opportunity. And then I interned for 3 months, and then I got the full-time opportunity after 2 more rounds of interview. So that's how my first few years has been in my career. But I still think I'm a fresher because it's just going to be 3 years in
Yeah,
2024. So yeah, I still consider myself a fresher.
yeah. And like how you switch, how you got to know about DevRel and how you switch from Microsoft to Appwrite.
Yeah, so I know I'll bring this up a lot, but Microsoft Student Ambassador Program is really something that changed my life. So that's why I'm repeating about it. But I got to know about that role from the program because let's say if I'm stuck in something that has to do with Azure, there was always somebody from the Microsoft team who would help me out and answer all the silly questions that I had. And this person used to be known as a cloud advocate at Microsoft. And there was also another senior in India, like who used to work at Microsoft, called Orkuduti. And I saw that he is also a cloud advocate at Microsoft, and he's like a mentor to me right now, and we talk about it. And I realized that okay, they are doing something that I really like. They are I used to be a teacher in an NGO, so I loved teaching. And I also used to give like I used to teach students mathematics and computer just out of fun. So I really loved teaching. And when I realized that this part of the job has teaching, plus I'm working with tech, I also loved writing, plus I also get to write, and I also get to meet people because I love talking to different people. So that's when I realized, okay, this is where what I really want to do. Like, if I want to have a fun job, if I want to wake up every Monday and think that, yay, this is something that I'm excited to do, and I'm not crying or, cribbing about my job on a Monday, then I think that I'm really successful in life. So I realized that
Yeah,
this is the role that I actually want to do. And that's how it all began. Then since Microsoft had given so much to my learning journey, so I that was my dream company, which is why I took up a role, like it was a support engineer role, that even though I didn't want to, but I thought, okay, it's for the company, I'll just do it. And a few months into the role, I realized that I'm not enjoying what I'm doing here. Like, it actually turned out into one of my nightmares, where I have to open my laptop and think, oh no, another Monday. So today is a Monday, by the way. So if you can see my face, you realize that I am not
yeah,
cribbing about my job right now. So yeah, that's where I realized that okay, this is not what I'm enjoying. And I interviewed internally as well at Microsoft, but that didn't work out. And almost 10 months into my job is when I realized that DevRel is what I really want to do full time. And at the same time, I saw on Twitter that Appwrite also has an opening. That time Appwrite was very early stage, like it hardly had around 10 to 15 people. So I interviewed, and when we also had a one-to-one round with the CEO. And when I interviewed with other engineers and other people in the team, it was the passion in them and the way that they talk to people is what I really liked. Like these people, especially the CEO and the founder, he has so much love and passion for the product that he is building. Plus, it's open source. Even I used to contribute to open source a lot. So I thought that okay, this is what, and they also had a very good understanding of what needs to be done with the DevRel team. So I knew that I am in the good hands, and I interviewed till the final round, and I was lucky enough that they chose me. So yeah, here I am, 2 years after, was still working at Appwrite.
Interesting story from starting to the app, right? So yeah, like a lot of people already know about the DevRel and technical writing, community management stuff. I just want to from you just define DevRel, what it is for the folks who don't know, and what are the three
Yeah.
branches of DevRel.
Correct. So DevRel is basically a big umbrella, and underneath that there is developer advocates. There are also developer marketers, community managers, technical writers, and to be very honest, this is one job term that has been undergoing changes over the years. Like DevRel is not new in the market; it has been there since
Yeah.
1980s, and Apple was the first one who actually coined this term. Like had the first DevRel in their team. So what these people are actually meant for, now we know that most companies are either B2B or B2C, so they're catering to business or business to customers. There are also companies that are B2D plus, which means business to developers and others, which means that one of the area of customer is developers. And companies realize that like every customer needs to be treated in a different way, and when it comes to developers, they are a different breed, and there needs to be somebody who can understand them, there needs to be somebody who can cater to them, there needs to be somebody who can be a bridge between them and between the company or between the engineering team. So that is where DevRel comes to play. And like I mentioned, like it's a big umbrella, and there are different people doing different kinds of job. If you're a developer advocate, you are basically advocating for the product, and it can be in any format, be it developing content, both video and written, or it could be building or integrations or cool demo apps. And we also do some part of community work where we are building different programs or helping a community, supporting a community. But the entire DevRel, umbrella was meant to be a bridge and cater to the needs of developers in any and every way possible. So that's what we do. And like I mentioned, that you can be somebody who is the documentation. Almost all developers, we follow some documentation, right? So this is something that are written by developer advocates. Then you must be watching different companies and products having videos on their YouTube channel. So this is what developer advocates or like developers in general are doing. Then like I mentioned about the Microsoft Launch Student Ambassador program. So this entire program was the brainchild of the DevRel team at Microsoft. Similarly, if you have heard about programs like GDs or GDGs, where DevFest and everything is so popular. So this was the brainchild of probably a DevRel team in Google, or the including the program manager, where they built from scratch that okay, we need to build a program that is catering to the developers, that is helping us pass on the word about Google technologies, that is helping us bring feedback and improve our products. So there are a lot of we are wearing multiple hats when we are in this role, and I can go on and on about it, like what we do, what are the job responsibilities are. But I would say that again, the role of a DevRel, it might change from one company to another, and that is something that you need to look out for yourself. um so let's say, like in Applet, if I'm doing a particular set of job, that is because the company or the product is built that way. Maybe if you are in a bigger company, you would have to do just content stuff, or just or you're just catering to student developers. So that the role is very dynamic, and it changes from company to company. So yeah, that's what
Yeah.
in a long short way I had to say about DevRel.
Yeah. Like thanks for sharing the whole thing. And one thing to add from my side, maybe I'm not a that kind of experienced person, but one thing to add, like if you are a pursuing DevRel as a career and want to get into this field, lot of people are hiring DevRel, but a lot of communities or in Web3 space, lot of people hiring for the marketing purpose. So they will something you
Yeah,
have to do in the marketing stuff. So before get into that kind of job, just be clear with the thing that you want to do as a DevRel, because if you're a developer, you want to write some technical documentation, build community, and these
yeah,
are the things that you are not getting in role. So this is a big red flag for you. So be aware of that, and before getting into role, ask, be frankly, what I'm going to do, what are my roles and responsibilities, and after getting that kind of thoughts or clarity, then take a decisions you're going to do or not. So just
yeah.
don't run behind that DevRel thing. Yeah,
Definitely. I think you brought a very big aspect of this job. So anybody who is a viewer of this podcast, you might know that a lot of backlash has been there about this role, and that is and nobody is actually wrong there, because especially during COVID, there has been a growth in developer tools companies, and startups
yeah,
started hiring DevRel without realizing what DevRel does, or and there was a gap in the leadership team who formed the entire team. So it, I don't blame it on any individuals who think, what DevRel does or has assumptions. But what I do till date is I talk to people who have been in the role for a very long time, let's say for 5 to 10 years, and I learn from their experiences. So that is the best way how you can learn as well. And if you are new into this role, text people. Everybody in the DevRel community and in the tech community in general are super nice. If you are texting them with constructive questions, everybody will respond. So that's one thing that I do. And even now, if some juniors or somebody texts me with the job description and asks that, hey, this is what I'm expected to do out of a DevRel role, is it exactly what you do, or is it in, am I going in the right direction? I am more than happy to do that, but I would again say that I am still very new to the industry. Don't take my words. You might consult other people as well, but if needed, I am happy to help as well. My DMs are always open and I'm very responsive.
yeah. And
Okay.
other thing is explain us what is Appwrite and your roles and responsibilities as a DevRel.
Yeah, sure. So Applet is basically, it's an open source backend as a platform, or backend as a service base, as we may call it. What it does, it provides you the with APIs and SDKs to build needed features that we all need while building a full stack application. For example, any application will require a database. Any application will have authentication, will have storage, and these are some of the tasks that are very repetitive for each and every application that you are building. These are certain things that you need to repeat. So what we are doing on our end is we are simplifying the job of a developer. We are providing you with SDKs and APIs, and you can just connect to it and build a full stack application. For example, like we have authentication, and we have almost 37 plus OAuth 2 providers. So for example, if you want to have single sign on with Google, with LinkedIn, or any other providers, you can easily do that by just connecting with Appwrite. So that's what we are doing. And with Appwrite, you can either self-host, like you can use a Docker and host it on your own servers, or we also have a cloud offering. So if you are not somebody who wants to do things, or who wants to handle the infrastructure and all, you can leave it on us, and we'll handle it with a cloud offering. So that's what Appwrite does. And if you want to check out, just go to appwrite.io. That's where you'll find all the information. And in my day-to-day job, our role, like we are a pretty small team, and our role is very divided, and we have a very flat hierarchy, which means that we can take up anything that we like, but in a managed way, so that the job gets done and nobody is interfering in any other person's job. But generally, what I do is, let's say I'm integrating or building integrations with something, with products like maybe Twilio, maybe with products like Astro, and then building an application with it, and or I'm building a demo with it, or building an integration with it, so that you can easily connect both the services together. So that's one part of the job. The other part is documentation. There is a dedicated person in the team who is helping with documentation, but if needed, we do help him with some documentation as well. Other than that, in general, technical blogs, like for example, what is CSR, what is SSR, or technical documentations for educational purposes in general, or about Appwrite is what I write as well. And then the third is the community part, where I am very active on a Discord channel. I'm helping people with support queries that they might have about Appwrite, or where I am building programs. Like last year I was heading a program called Appwrite Oasis Fund, which was built with an aim to help open source projects or maintainers with some funds. So that's what we do, building the program from scratch, that how can it be a win-win for both the community and for Appwrite. But the program OSIS Fund was mainly built for the open source community, so the looking for wins for the community is something that was prioritized. But yeah, so like working with the community, how we can grow it, how we can come up with cool ideas and suggestions to keep the keep members flowing and keep people coming back to us and building with us is also a part of the job. And the video content is something at Appwrite that we recently started. I am not actively working on it yet, but maybe in the future I will be working on it as well.
Okay.
So that's all. Yeah.
Okay. And you already explained what is DevRel is. I just want to get an idea. There is a continuous debate on the question on Twitter. DevRel is
Yeah.
a non-technical role. This is not for the technical people. So, what your opinion on that, and give us a clarity on that question.
Yes. So, one thing that I say, like as a running joke, is the word DevRel. It stands for developer relations. So, the first word that you see is developer, which means
Developer.
that yes, we need to have some amount of development knowledge to actually become a developer advocate. I know a reason why this question comes up, because we are not actively building on production, which is why maybe a lot of people have this question, which is true that we don't usually build actively on production. But this is something that I have seen in my career, that a lot of people do that. For example, they have been a software engineer for 5 to 6 years, and then they later move into this role. For example, as a student, when I used to think that, okay, now if I become a software engineer, what next? Maybe I'll try to get into a managerial role or become something else. So basically, people who are very passionate about teaching or about conversing with developers are somebody who become developer advocates. So they have been a developer in some format or the other in one of the previous experiences that they have had. And a major reason why, because we are constantly interacting a lot with developers. So once you are a developer, only then you'll understand the pain points that other developers have. Once you have been in the shoes, only then you will be able to realize what are the problems, or what are the issues that one can face, and how can I be being a maintainer of Appwrite, for example, I can bring ease those pain, or bring a change to the development process, or make things easier. So that's something I believe that will come only once you have been in this being a developer at least once in the list of experiences that you have had. And yeah, and I also mentioned about integrations, right? That we need to build a lot of integrations and demo applications. So even for that, I'm not sure if ChatGPT can actually help us do it to a great extent, but yes, we need to have some development knowledge to build that. And yeah, it's a fun job. You are continuously experimenting with a lot of technologies. For example, since as a part of our job, we are also going with the trend and seeing how we can, let's, for example, like one was a trend of last
Yeah.
few months back, 2 months back,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Yeah. And then like our engineering team, they built a runtime with it. And the next thing that I thought, okay, how can I build something with Bun? And then I built something with Bun and wrote an article with it. And that's how I learned about Bun as well, which maybe a lot of people who are a software developer might not have used it. So I think it also depends a lot on your interests. If you're really interested in this, then definitely you'll find a way to keep yourself updated. But yeah, there are reasons why people say there is we don't need to be a developer, but trust me that if you have to stay in the job, you need to be one.
yeah. It depends on company to company as well and the role you are in. But as you mentioned, developer relationship or the developer advocate, there is the first term
Yeah.
include developer. So you have to be a developer first, then other stuff comes in. So
So,
yeah, so DevRel is a technical role, and you have to take knowledge before coming to this
yeah.
field, and not just content creation and all the stuff. Yeah.
True.
So Appwrite is also part of GitHub Octernship program. So
Yeah.
tell us a bit about that and how it helping student or open source contributor who are just start their journey and how they can benefits from that program.
Yeah, so Appwrite has been a part of GitHub Octernships for almost 2 years now. 2 years, yeah, not even almost. We have been hiring interns from GitHub Octernship. It previously used to be known as, I guess, GitHub Externships. And yeah, the hiring process was different. This is something that the GitHub team actually does for you. But now the new process is that the Appwrite team, let's say if we are hiring for DevRel interns, or if we're hiring for software development interns, then like we give some assignments, and then the people who are applying, like the students, they are expected to submit their sample applications if that is a part of your of your assignment, and then we hire interns on that, maybe one, two, three. The number of interns depends on the number of requirement that the organization has at that moment. So last year we hired one person, and that person was even extended a full-time offer, but she had other plans to to pursue higher studies, so she couldn't join us in full-time capacity. But yes, we did that. And even this year we had some interns who helped us who helped the DevRel team, who helped the engineering team. So yeah, that's at this point, since we are a pretty small team, that's the only way that we are hiring interns. So if anybody is interested to join Appwrite as an intern or through internship, GitHub internship is, or sorry, Octernship is something that you need to take a look at. And I cannot really confirm in dates as when the next hiring will happen, but hopefully, fingers crossed, 2024 is the year.
Yeah, that's good to know for me as well because I'm also excited to be a part of that program. And yeah, Applied is a great team, like a lot of great minds and a lot of great people are be in a team of Applied. So if someone want to just start with open source and they want to be a part of, so I highly encourage go and submit their assignments. What are the Applied that have? So yeah,
But
uh,
just one thing to note, like GitHub Octernship, sorry, it's just for students. So if that's if you are a student and if you want to intern, that's the way.
okay,
But
yeah,
if you want to join full time, then you need to apply directly through our career portal. And another way to get hired is like most of our engineers have been hired that way. Like they have been contributors to Appwrite, either through code or through community in some way or the other, and that's how they got hired. And we still actively do that. So if you're really, really interested, I would highly suggest that you either get active on GitHub or on a Discord community where majority of our members are there. So yeah, that's another friendly tip that I had.
yeah. Thanks for sharing that. Yeah. And you and Aditya recently visited to Japan, like as a team to share the DevRel meetups and Appride program, I think.
So no, there was a conference called DevRel Con, and
Yes.
like it's a flagship conference. Like the main person who organizes it stays in if I'm not wrong, I think he stays in Prague or somewhere in Europe or in London. So like it is basically developerrelations.com. There's a site on that, and Matthew is the person who is the the main man behind the entire thing, and that's how like he's the one who organizes the conferences. And if you're interested, you can organize one in your own country as well. So we went to the one in Yokohama this year in March, and we also went to the one in London, which was the main conference in September as well. So yeah, we were there invited as a speaker, both of us. We were talking in different topics. So yes, that's how we were there.
Okay. Yeah. I just want to know the your experience with that program, like how it's happening and how it's helps DevRel to grow, or the company you're a part of, how it helps company to grow as a individual startup or individual person you as well.
So that conference is something that is only meant for DevRel. Like if you are
Okay.
maybe if you're somebody who's a developer marketer or in the growth team, you can also attend. Or if you're a software engineer who is interested in these things, you can also attend. But mostly topics. So a lot of people who have been in the industry for a very long time, they come, they share their experiences, they share their wins, and DevRel is a part of DevRel as a job is something that is very hard to measure, and we are constantly learning. There are so many things that keeps changing, and these people out there, they are there with you during the conference, during the 1 or 2 day of the conference, and sharing their tips, sharing their experiences. So it's a great learning opportunity for anybody who is a DevRel as a profession, or is somebody who is wanting to get into DevRel as well. And for the company's perspective, it was a big win for Appwrite, because like this September we got awarded as the most welcoming developer community. So
Yeah.
that was a win for us. But in general, I guess it also helps you a lot in one-to-one development. Like when you are representing your company as a DevRel, and you see, especially as a startup, and then you see there are other companies who are recognizing you, or there are other DevRels as well. So you talk to them, maybe you bring some collaboration opportunities that you can have, and there are multiple ways how you can bring impact to your company. But like I mentioned, it also depends on what nature your company is, or how you can plan that. So that's up to you on an individual level. But for DevRels in general, I think it's a great conference to learn.
Okay. And I just want to know your opinion on ChatGPT and Bard AI tools, because as a DevRel, you have to write documentation, manage community, social media posts, or marketing stuff. And the AI tools are doing this work pretty well. Just like the engagement messages, the content, the blogs and articles, the images. So how it's impacting to DevRel space or DevRel job role, and how you see the next 2 or 3 years they will evolve or replaced by these tools.
So, DevRel is a very people job. Like you, DevRel again. The second part of the word is relationship, which means that this is something that only human to human can have, and I'm not sure if AI can replace that yet. Maybe in the future. I'm not. I
Yeah.
don't doubt technology, but again, if you also saw like a tweet by OpenAI's either team member or from their own handle, like Re- recently the last time the model was trained was in 2021, I guess. And there are hallucinations that the model might face, or there are times when the model might be wrong. And I have also intensively tried it. Like ChatGPT is great if you are somebody who needs it for ideation, but if you are making it do the entire job for you, it sounds very repetitive, and it is very easily identifiable that if something is written by you, or if something is written by AI. And I have also tried and also seen, especially during Hacktoberfest, that people are copying and pasting the code that ChatGPT wrote. But a lot of time,
Okay.
since like the code base is huge, and you cannot feed the entire architecture to it, so it really doesn't understand how to put both the things together. So that's something that where human needs to intervene. So a lot of time it doesn't write the exact code. I think, to be very fair, it's similar to cheating that we used to do, like at least I did in my engineering days. So even to cheat or to open cheats or to open my books or to Google, I needed to have some information within me, like I needed to have
Yeah,
some knowledge, only then I can ask
copy and
Google or
paste.
somebody, or yeah. So I think that yes, it can be a support, it can be a support to your job that is making your job faster, but I don't think that it can replace any job, not only DevRel but any other job. I don't think it can replace it anytime soon, especially jobs that require human brain to jump in. I'm pretty sure that it's not happening anytime soon.
Okay. Yeah. Let's see in the future what will goes and happens. So yeah, the last thing
Absolutely.
that I want to ask,
Yeah.
like, what do you want to share with the audience who are pursuing career in DevRel, or they already started with the DevRel and looking for first opportunities? So what are the things that they have to keep in mind and how they can get their first job?
Yeah, one thing that I would share is that don't jump into this job role if just because you see it's all glitz and glam on social media. For me, it's a job that has to do a lot with your passion. Learn more about the job, talk to different people, read a lot of articles and newsletters, and get to know more about the job. And then you decide if this is really something that you want to do at least for 5 years from now. And then you jump into this job role. And also, while during a conversation, I mentioned that read the job description quite well and see that you are expected to do what actually a DevRel does and nothing apart from that role or something very different from the role. Other than that, I would say that also keep development in practice. And if there are times when you feel that I need to switch and I want to become a software developer again, so I would say that if you are keeping development in practice, that is also a good way for you to stay updated with the recent technologies. I mentioned this because at Appwrite I can do that. It's open source, I can contribute, I can learn, I can integrate with whatever technologies I can. But a lot of other companies have restrictions on that, and maybe you will be coding very less to nothing on your day-to-day job. So to prevent that, I would suggest that if you can build something cool during the weekend or whenever you're free after your job, that's also a good practice to have while you are in the job role. That's
Okay.
all.
Yeah. So yeah, this is the end of session, and these are the things that I want to know. And thanks for sharing the insights and that time that you shared with us. Really appreciate.
Thanks a lot. Thanks again for the invite.